right, here we are back live from Lubbock, Texas, South Plains Lanes here. PBA Senior U.S. Open, Craig Elliott, Tom Carter. We've got Mike Flanagan to our left running the ship.
He's doing the truck.
He's on the truck, yeah. Tom, we've had a lot of games this week. 24 games of match play. You bowled all of them.
Yes, I did.
All of qualifying. We're down to the final 5. Who do we have in the Stepladder tonight besides a bunch of Hall of Famers?
Well, Dino Castillo, who just won his first title in the Masters in the opening match against Amleto Monacelli, who also won the Masters the year before. The winner of those, between those two, then they're going to go on to USBC Hall of Famer Chris Barnes, which has been extremely hot this week. And then we got a guy that we haven't seen for 3 years, Jack Jurek. And he came out and was just absolutely lighting them up. And the winner of that match is going to take on what I call the guy with the voodoo roll, Lennie Boresch.
Yeah, and Lennie made a run late in match play with a couple games to go. Actually, the last game jumped ahead of Jurek there to get that #1 seed. But how about Jack? Back-to-back shows, hasn't bowled really in 4 years.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to ask where's Jack after this week because
no,
they don't want to see him walk in the bowling
center. Jack says he's
going
to actually try to finish out the swing. I mean, it's great to have him back out here. He's just bowling unbelievable.
Yeah,
but
great to see.
He works out. I mean, he's really into it. He's prepared, physically and mentally.
And he's in a good place. He's happy. He's jovial. He's gentleman Jack.
Well, he's the you win the nicest guy on tour for like 100 different times.
A couple different times. Yeah. So lane play this week a little bit different as they went on. It got a little bit tighter, and scores.
Well,
scores were not very predictable.
This is the U.S. Open. It should be tough, and it is tough. Even though it's a senior tour, it should be tough. The lanes broke down. Let's call it odd at points. Yeah. I mean, the hook spot was early. Sometimes it was late. The puddle in the middle. On some, there was a puddle. The lanes played totally different from one end of the house to the other. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Those lanes were absolutely brutal.
And the other pair that ended up getting taken out of play was 17-18, which was just unbelievable. I mean, we had Walter and Pete there yesterday. They barely shot 320 between them. Well, we had a little breakdown. Luckily, I think you guys might have been happy about that because that pair was not fun.
That pair wasn't fun, and 33-34 wasn't that fun. And it all depended where you ended up in qualifying. You know, you're hoping that you didn't have to go to one end or the other. Some of the pairs in the middle were really high scoring. Some pairs, I can't stress enough how incredibly tough some of the pairs were. But again, it's the U.S. Open. It should be tough. It shouldn't be anything easy, and rightly so, and it wasn't easy at all.
So how do you see it breaking down tonight? We've seen some high scores, some low scores. 19 and 20 has been fairly consistent. We watched it all week. It's just to our left here. There's been some good stuff there.
It's kind of funny because, it's a very long pattern we're bowling on, 44 feet. A lot of guys are throwing big balls with a lot of surface, but it was kind of funny. Even though they were big balls with a lot of surface, they didn't hook. It was like they had too much surface in the front part of the lane, and the ball just labored on the back end.
Right.
And
exactly.
It all depends on how these guys warm up and start breaking them down, because maybe a smaller ball, a lesser ball, could be the key to winning tonight.
I ask all week, why don't we see some of the bigger pearlized balls with surface on them, and nobody really did that.
Well,
a couple of GB4 pearls.
Yeah, and there's some GB4s. There was, just went brain dead here for a second. ASIM, big ball for Storm.
Yeah, altered reality.
Altered reality.
Yeah.
That ball, I seen a couple people throwing with some surface on it. Some gems were out there with some surface on them. So guys started trying it because they realized that the big ball, it was kind of funny. Guys were sanding balls with actually 800 grit, and it wouldn't hook. And the ball would be coming back with no oil on it either. I mean,
right.
it was,
where did it go?
It was like, where'd the oil go?
Looks like we got just a few more shots. And our first match again is Dino Castillo, last week's champion, his first win on any national tour, and it was a major, so it was great to see Dino finally just really get the monkey off his back. I mean, he knocked on it so many times. He's had chances to win here in Lubbock. He's got some regional titles. On the national tour, he just never was able to get the W until last week, so it's great to see that.
And I think, well, since he's got the monkey off of his back, it's just about Dino being able to actually control his emotions in this stepladder finals. It's the U.S. Open. He just won the Masters. He could win back-to-back titles.
Well, and I mentioned earlier today he's going to win again this year. It could be today, but, now he's got that confidence. I did it, right? The doubt is gone. Because there was some doubt there.
Right. He knows he can do it now.
Yeah.
It's just, and we talked about it last week at the Masters, the key to Dino is keeping his feet slow, and if he can keep his feet underneath him and post shots, he's going to be tough to beat.
And he's going to start on lane 19. Dino Castillo and Amleto, Monacelli.
Amleto, no stranger to bowling for majors or just bowling on the show, period. And he's done it several times. So the nerves are still on Dino, even though he's full of, what do I call it, emotion.
Well, and the other thing to watch here now is this is some good implications on Player of the Year. Dino's in third right now. Chris Barnes in fourth. Up to this event, Parker Bowe in the third, our leader, didn't make the show. Brad Angelo didn't make match play. So one of these guys is going to make a big move. And that's just 2-8-10, and we saw that a lot this week.
Well, it was so easy to do. You get amped up, and there's enough oil in the middle, 44 feet, that if you don't get it to the break point, but then again, the break point, believe it or not, is so small down lane that if you don't hit it just right, and a lot of guys, and you've probably seen it with Walter, just really trying to slow up the ball so it hooked. So just kind of slow wheel it and get it around the corner. So I think it's going to be a big speed game tonight.
Well, and impressive what we saw from Walter, going to two-handed and really doing stuff that was just very, very impressive.
Well, it's the professional tour, and if you have the ability to change your style in order to strike, you can do that.
And same result for Amleto.
There is an out of bounds.
Adds a 4-pin with it.
The bad thing about this pattern, once they start breaking it down, it starts hooking early. So you want to try to get around it, because if you try to go up it, it's going to hook early. But if you go around it and you just get aggressive with it, it never recovers.
And this is makeable for the guys that curve it a bit. You made it today.
I made
Barnes
it today.
made it today. So this is a makeable spare. I mean, Amleto can hook it into it, and that's what he needs to do. Get the ball across in front of the 2-pin. This up to 4-8, kick over to the 10.
This pattern, I give it a run.
Yeah, lane.
I played it for a guy like me that throws it slower. It kind of played into our hands a little bit because we threw it slow enough that we could get it around the corner. And some of these guys, their rev rates are so high, they get it around the corner with revs.
Right. Well, we're even through one. 9 apiece.
We're not lighting them up yet.
No. That looks a little bit better.
That's a better shot. Amleto throwing an obsession tour. He's got a couple of those. He's in love with that ball. He crossed it like, 17 at the arrows?
17, yeah.
Yeah, and not getting it really any farther than 10.
Well, there's no down lane tracers here, is there? I just realized that.
No, so he's probably just throwing it to, I'd say, the shadow of the 6-pin down lane. Just try to get to a spot.
A look from the side. There's Barnes warming up down there. Jurek, and here's Dino.
Dino from the side.
Low.
Yeah, and he just keeps moving just to stay loose. But if he does what he did last week, his leverage is absolutely incredible. Solid 9. That's no good.
No bueno. And I think, you've seen it too. Another look at this there 9-pin. Look at his release, his hand. When it kind of goes straight up, that's about where he wants to be. When he kind of flares it to the right is when he loses a few shots and goes out bounds. He posted that one pretty good for Dino.
His release is kind of misleading, because if you only see his hand, for sometimes, like that came up the side, but you'll see his hand totally go around the ball, and it's the palm of his hands facing the pins. You're like, did he just spin that? But that's just, he's just finishing the move. The ball's way gone before that ever happened.
What's Dino throwing tonight?
Well, he's throwing the same thing, an Obsession Tour. He has a Stealth down there, and then it looks like Ameleto's got a Dark Web and a Kinetic Ice. So I think they're still juggling on what they want to throw, trying to figure out which is going to give them the best reaction. But these lanes change so quick. From practice to when it actually starts, he crossed like 15 right there, just kind of like Amleto did. Basically 15 to 10. Yeah, right over 15. Might have got it out to 8. Again, without the tracers down there, the little cheaters to help us out a little bit, we just kind of guessing.
Yeah, I think you guys get used to those tracers quite a bit, and then we find a center that doesn't have them, and then you got to.
Well, you know, there's so many different lanes. You see lanes that actually have the dark lines in them, the vertical lines, and so you see that, and they got the tracers. There's a whole bunch of visual stuff in today's game. Amleto just
same thing,
and that looked good going to the line, and he 2-8-10s. Ball just not reading the back end. He obviously posted the shot, got through it. He's watching it, and it gets to the spot, but it just never
didn't pick up.
No, it just never picked up and continued. It's just like it stopped.
Well, you want to see him make a move, or you want to see him just change balls completely now? I mean, that's the same result basically twice in a row.
Well, the first thing I think he probably is going to do is just make a little bit of a move to the right. The only other thing that he would do, if he does change balls and goes to a symmetrical ball, might give him a little more shape on the back end, but that also can give you a little trouble. If he can control that back end on this, it'd be much better off, because I guarantee you that Jack Jurek and Lennie Boresch are not going to be wheeling it all over the place.
Lennie definitely will not be wheeling it all over the place. He had a heck of a run today. Rattled off 7 consecutive wins.
Yeah, he shot 257 at me. I know. I was one of those. That was a little inside. That was like 17. So it looks like they got a little bit better shot on the left lane. Right lane looks a little tight down lane.
Think he grabbed that one just a little bit more too?
I think maybe he slowed it down a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to go with slowing it down.
Okay.
I think this shot is so much about tweaking your wrist and your release and speed control, probably even more so than what ball you're throwing. Dino starting out.
He's not moving his feet too much now, is he?
You know,
there they go.
He's really trying to take his time. He posted that one, but that was left.
Well, I'll tell you what. The one thing I picked up on when he made that first show this year is when he's bowling Brad Angelo. And Brad Angelo always bowls at a deliberate pace. Dino really slowed the pace down and took himself out of his game.
Right.
Kind of what he's doing there. He's not that slow. Usually he's a get up and go guy. You got to keep that pace going. I don't like when he does that, to be honest.
Well, I think he's slowing it down because he's definitely not comfortable with where he's playing the lane or the shot. So this is where you can get into overthinking severely.
Well, we do know that the worst ball in the bag is usually that one between the ears. So. you don't want that ball in play.
That would be most correct. Dino's having a little trouble starting out with, had a split in the first frame, 9 spare in the second, strike, 7 spare in the fourth. Amleto having a little more trouble. He splits the first frame, strikes, splits again, and strikes in the fourth. So he's got the left lane. He definitely doesn't have the right lane.
A little bit of loft. I think he liked it.
You can never tell with Dino. If he liked it or if he didn't like it.
I mean, let's get off his hand.
He posts the shot. It's right over 14-15. It's out to – he thought it was going to be a little high because that did kind of turn the corner a little too hard, but it was still out to 8. He wasn't quite as deep as the previous shot at the arrows.
Well, I'd like to not like that maybe 5 more times this game. Then if that's
well, he needs a few more of those. Amleto needs some help right now.
And he is making a ball change.
He just did. He went to a kinetic ice, a pearl ball. Actually, a sanded pearl ball that we just talked about. Way to go. You pulled that one out.
Look at this shot one more time there.
He gets it a little farther right, but the ball reads the lane on the back end. That's what I was saying earlier. I think too big of balls are too much surface. Yep. They slow down too much, and they've lost their energy before they get to the break point, which seems hard to understand when you're on 44 feet of oil, but is definitely possible. It's almost like the oil is thinner in the front, and there's a ramp going down lane.
No, he's not throwing that ball on the left lane.
Well, he struck both times on the left lane, throwing. So Amleto's going to be throwing 2 different balls, a pearl ball on the right lane and the Obsession Tour on the left lane. Now, both of these guys really got a similar style when they're going the line. You watch their arm swing. They both open up pretty drastically in their backswing and get through it. Amleto with that open and just snaps that arm through.
Just, a little bit lower backswing than what we saw in the 80s and 90s, but very, very
well,
familiar form there.
I think most of the guys have got a shorter backswing. Look at Pete. Pete's backswing's not near as high as it used to be.
It's a big shot for Dino now that Amleto's lined up.
You watch Dino. He'll open up big time in the backswing. I think he liked that one a little bit. So now we might have a little bit of a match going on. Amleto puts up a 3-bagger in the 4th, 5th, and 6th. Dino with a strike in the 5th and 6th. So now we got something going on. I think Dino's kind of a hometown favorite down here because he's been here several times, and I think Chris Barn is too. Linda's.
I think they're both going to be favorites. If
Linda
they bowl
Barnes
each other, it's going to be a split crowd.
Yeah. Left lane, he got that in, never got it to the break point. I agree with you. I think Dino might be taking a little more time than he needs.
Yeah.
You got to play your game. You can't play his game.
I agree 100%. I mean, he's just got to go do his thing. Yeah, let us throw on strikes, but take control of the match, take control of the pace.
Like his spare shots, he picks up the ball and just starts walking and throws it, and that's more Dino. I mean, he's always got antics, and you would really never know if he's striking or not because his hands are flaring, his head's shaking.
Very upright in his stance.
Different than if we had a side-by-side of Amleto. Oh, that was a great shot. He's actually created some area down lane with that pearl ball.
Was that sanded pearl again?
Yeah, I think you said that earlier. You should have bowled.
No. But I'll stay back here and help you if you need it. Just you can come up, send me an Odessa. Get any questions?
Craig would have dominated this tournament, just so you know, guys.
Would have crushed it.
Are you 50 yet?
51.
Oh, you should have bowled.
No.
We get Flanagan out here to bowl too.
Dude, I haven't missed a cut sitting back here. I'm going to stay right there.
Never missed a spare either, right?
Well, I've still missed a couple of spares sitting here, but that's a whole other story. I'm looking for a 5-bagger now.
He's got his rhythm going now, so Amleto is obviously at his best when he gets to hook it.
Look at this shot.
Opens up he's got that elbow snap crossing like 17 at the arrows out to 8. Ball just dead flush, almost splits the 8-9. So, and he's getting to hook it on the right lane. He found a ball that actually is recovering. His eyes like to see the ball change direction on the back end. And if you can get lined up to what your eyes like to see, you start getting very, very comfortable.
Well, Dino knows what he's got to do. He's going to get up here and throw a double.
Oh, that looked like...
yeah, you saw where his hand was on that one.
Yeah, that looked like it was left off of his hand a little bit, at least from our angle.
Yeah, look at where his hand is on this one. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, you see it go all the way around it.
Yep.
And I think when he does that, sometimes he misses inside because he's just so fast with his wrist action at the bottom of the swing. So Dino is kind of in a must strike out situation at this point. A possible 217 for Dino. Amleto going at, I think, a 247 pace.
What do you want to see Dino do here? Make any moves or just make a good quality shot?
He's got to make a good shot. He's throwing an obsession just like Amleto is on the left lane. So they should both have the same look on that left lane. The one that is confusing is the right lane. He didn't like that at all.
That's going to strike. That's a guaranteed strike when he racks like that. Guaranteed.
Most of his, I'm not sure what he didn't like about that.
Yeah,
but
that was pretty.
Whatever it is, you should probably do that more often then.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Amleto. He can lock it up here in the 9th and 10th.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's what he's going to do. Uh-oh.
Wasn't me.
Something caught his eye. I'm not sure what it was.
You don't see him back off too often.
Hardly ever, unless she moved down lane. We have a girl down lane taking pictures, sitting about 4 lanes to the right down by the pins. That is that is game, set, and match right there.
It's pretty solid right there. Good ball change.
You should have. I didn't even see you go down there and tell him that.
I texted him.
Oh, okay.
I have my Spanish translation on my text app, and I send it down to him.
Yeah. Amleto not sure. When Jeff hit that ball with, I think he put a light 2000 on it. All Amleto could think of is it's going to hook too early. He didn't realize it slowed it down and made it more controllable.
Oh, check just a little early.
Yeah, he didn't get that one quite to the break point. Check that one up. And again, the lanes change a lot, and they're going to change quite a bit because the guys coming in, Chris Barnes is going to come over, and he's going to get some practice shots, and that's going to tear up the lane a little bit more. So, and Chris likes playing them in. And when he was warming up, I seen him warming up with the gym, but he also had a sanded altered reality.
And we got a game now. Dino can shoot 217. Amleto's got to make this.
Oh. We didn't see that coming, did we?
No, not really. But we've seen so many times today when players have a chance to lock it up or win in a 10th, they just something happens and they give the opponents an opportunity. So Dino.
Well, the 3-6-9-10 on this pattern.
Oh, it's brutal.
It's not even 50-50. I think you got like a 20% chance of making it.
Well, that's a tough spare on a house shot. There's so many ways to miss it.
Yes.
But on this pattern, it's even more. So 211 with an open in a 10th. Dino Castillo has a chance to get up right here and kind of steal the victory.
Yeah, he needs 2 in the 10th. This has been his tough lane. Can he do it? There's the first one.
Looked like he kind of tightened up a little bit the line on that one and just jammed it in there.
He literally stayed with the shot the whole time and went through that.
Yeah, it looked like it was maybe 2 right and kept it a little bit tighter.
He's got the speed to keep it on line. the kid can. I call him a kid because he's only 50, but
right. But like we're seeing that speed, if you get a little too much, it's 2-8-10.
Right.
Just like that. I mean, we've seen so many guys think they aced it, and it was just a little quick, and it's 2-8-10.
Then you come back the next shot, you slow it up a little bit because then you big 4.
Yeah. Chance to win it.
For all the marbles right here to get to the next match. Oh, he doesn't.
He did like it. Did he?
Oh, no.
Oh, wow. A little quick. Yeah.
It's so hard to tell his reactions. If he liked it, okay,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't either. I'm lost.
What a match, though. I mean, goodness. If that's how they're all going to go, we've got a heck of a show coming your way. Heck of a show. 204, 211.
Yeah. Man, that was incredible. I thought Amleto had it locked up totally because he could have shot 247, then 3, 6, 9, 10, and a 10th. There's definitely an issue with either the front part of the lane going away or the break point getting wider.
And next up, we're going to have Chris Barnes taking on Dino Castillo.
Now, they bowled against each other probably a zillion times.
A couple times. They're both from pretty much the Dallas area. Highland Village, Texas officially for Dino. Chris Barnes now in Denton, but it's Dallas. DFW. Chris gets a couple practice shots.
Yeah, I think he gets like 6 shots. Chris Barnes, Hall of Famer, 19 titles. Been on Team USA forever.
Hey guys, I'm here with I'm here with Dino Castillo. Dino, pretty nice week overall, coming off the big win last week. Tell us what happened there in the Stepladder.
The right lane, obviously all week has been bad for lane 20, and then even today was probably magnified as even worse. I knew he was going to put me on that right lane. Made an okay adjustment. I just think, like happens for me all the time, is I get my feet fast and hand quick. And first one I got off my hand pretty good. And actually, I didn't think I threw that one as bad, but it was probably quick. So I needed to shut it down and couldn't do it. So I always want to put myself in a position to throw it when I need it, and today I didn't do it. So what can I say?
Well, something to build on yet again, man. Back-to-back major shows. That's pretty good for a rookie season.
Oh, it is, and that's the thing is I got to try and look at it as back-to-back shows, back-to-back majors. I got to keep this momentum going into Odessa. That's a tough one for me. I need Anthony Lavery to guide me in that house because he's won there a million times. So hopefully I can get my inner Anthony next week, next tournament.
All right, good luck, Dino. Thanks so much. Back to you guys.
All right, great stuff from Dino. And I don't know if you picked up on that, Tom. What I heard there first time for Dino was a little, not doubt, but a little kind of dejected.
Yeah, he sounded a little, bummed out. He knows he made a mistake. We've talked about it every time that he gets on the show, that if he can control his feet, he's got a chance to win. And it's so easy because he's so energetic anyway to get over-amped up and get your feet going too fast. Then you pull through the shot. You never project it to where you want it to. Your hand can go around it at the bottom. There's just 1,000 things that can go wrong.
And the tough thing about that is we know it's his feet. He knows it's his feet, but it still happens.
It's tough to control. I mean, I have a horrible time with trying to keep my feet slow. It's just like, especially when you already throw the ball slow. For me, I try to keep my feet going so I can throw it harder, which is never going to be hard. He throws at 100. So, and on some of these patterns, unless he grew up in a place where the lanes were a little bit drier and he needed to throw it and he learned to throw it that hard. But out here on the senior tour, they add a little bit more oil, so you got to be a little bit softer. And he does well when the lanes get just dirt because he can throw it.
Right. Well, everybody's got their A game, but out here you need that B, C, and even D games at times to be successful.
Yeah, you got to have tricks. I mean, like today, I think it was today. I mean, we've been bowling so much. James Campbell leaves the 2-8-10, switches hands, throws it left-handed, and picks it up.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You know, so I mean, that's just being able to do different things. And if you can do, you have tricks in the bag, then more than your opponent, then hopefully with those tricks that put you up higher in the standings.
And we had a couple guys that had a couple pretty good weeks. Walt Blackston, again, both phenomenal. James Campbell, you mentioned, another great week. Something to build on for both of those players.
Right. Anytime you make match play at the U.S. Open, that's just a bonus. I mean, you bowled well the whole week to get here, and the match play is even tougher because now all the guys are playing the same part of the lane for the most part, and the lanes break down a little bit different. And I know you've seen them. The scores, some places the scores were through the roof. Then you might see a 150 to 150 match. You know, it all depends.
We saw all those. Well, Tom, you made match play this week. So how did it feel when you realized, hey, I made match play, but wait, I got 24 more games to bowl?
I tell you what.
Was it a good feeling or like, oh, great?
Well, yeah, I made match play in 22nd. I think I ended up in 21st. I didn't go anywhere. It was great that you made it, but I'm thinking, man, if you looked at the top 10 bowlers, they were all touring players, past touring players. Right. Some of the greatest bowlers we've ever had on tour, and I'm sitting in 21st going, I got 24 games to try to catch these guys, and odds are that's not going to happen. But it's just a great feeling to be out here and be able to compete.
Well, we look at the rest of the field real quick. We've got Amleto, Monacelli, and Chris Barnes. Chris Warren finished 6th, Pete Weber 7th, Tom Adcock, Ryan Goebel, Brian Leclerc, all guys that have won before. Tom Hess, and there's Walt Blackston and James Campbell at 12th and 13th. Knowlton, Adam Monk 16 and 8 in match play. What a tournament for Adam, and then Walter in 16th. Yeah, that's a pretty stout field there.
Parker Bone.
Pete McCordick.
Parker Bone, the only left-hander to make the cut.
Looks like Barnes is going to have Amleto start the match on the left lane, guys.
Amleto struck a lot on the right lane, though, didn't he?
He did, and he switched balls on the left lane. He went to that kinetic ice on the left lane. I wonder if Chris is going to be throwing the altered reality with a little bit of fake shine on it, and yes, he is. That ball crossed like 17, 18. He's moved in on that lane.
Well, and Chris talked to us earlier this week even. He likes to try to be a little bit inside the other guys to have more of a cleaner line. But I don't know, can he get inside Amleto?
Well, if he is, he's going to have to get in front of the ball return.
He slowed that one up nice. Yeah. He was throwing a lot faster earlier.
That wasn't even hardly off his hand. People are going, get in there.
Got the little kind of stutter shuffle step there.
It's almost like a pause. It kind of reminds you of Brad Angelo. He's got that hesitation in his step. And it's funny when you see all these players, you see so many similarities with certain things in their style. Chris and Brad Angelo kind of a little bit of a hesitation. And Pete, he's got a hesitation, but it's a back step. That was 18 at the arrows, out to like 8. Oh, a helicopter messenger come across.
I think that looked a little bit deeper, but he gave that one the business a little bit more.
It might have been like 19, but he didn't get it out far enough. So these lanes are obviously going to transition. It'll be interesting to see the next two matches. Our straighter guys, if they're going to stay right or if they're going to try to move in there.
Well, Barnes has won here several times on the 50 tour, on the regular tour, on the regional tour. He's bowled in the center, knows the center as good as anybody in the state of Texas. He's not going to get tricked out there. It's just a matter of making good shots and executing.
Well, and basically we're looking at all touring guys on this step ladder. Amleto even moved in on the right lane. Oh, he got a little love tap out of the 4-9.
Hall of Fame carry right there.
That's what that is. That ball came in just unbelievably high. Never got it to the spot. As he backed off the approach, he's looking like, how many boards have I got to move to get the ball to the spot? But then if he moves too much, what happens? 2-8-10.
2-8-10 or big four. That was 19. That was, yeah. They got leveling and hooking more, I think.
Yeah, they've already moved a zone left.
This one did look in, didn't it, guys?
Yeah, he crossed right at 20,
yeah,
21.
20.
Yeah.
20 and a half. Yeah, that's definitely inside. Split the 8-9.
Well, I think both guys really like playing in if they can. And obviously they're headed west. Oh. That was a little tough to see. He moved into our line of sight.
Yeah, can we go down there and tell him he needs to move either left or right so we can get a
when you
better
throw
look
that
at
shot,
the ball.
go left, will you, so we can see it?
Don't be posting it. Don't be holding the shot. Get out of the way.
Chris has got to have an unbelievably flexible wrist because he really cups the living daylights out of that ball.
That's 19.
Well,
there you go. I got the 7 off that time. He's you owe me one.
Chris and Amleto both play in the left lane the same. The trick is, what do you do on the right? This is where that was right over 20.
That was pretty good.
That was pure.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Amleto had a little trouble on this lane last time.
He likes it.
Just kind of a weak 10. Never. I think at this point, when you get in that deep on that lane, you got to get the ball right a little quicker, so it sees that strip of friction.
Yeah, it didn't look like that ball really picked up. It kind of went through the pins a little funny, like deflected on him. And he does use the same ball for his spares. Is that normal for Amleto?
Yes. Yeah, he doesn't use a spare ball at all. He has that kind of a goofy backup throw, and it almost seems like when he throws it, you hear that bang into the floor. It's like he lets go of it really early.
Just kills the roll.
I thought he dropped that one.
Yeah.
You know, we got a mic right down there on the approach, but I thought he dropped that one. I thought that had a danger of missing it.
And unfortunately, I think sometimes he does that a lot. He just slams it down and gets out of it quick. You see the size of that trophy they're going to win? Holy cow.
That's bigger than Amleto. It's bigger than some of the rental cars they had at the airport. That was a little bit right there. It was more 19 than 20 and a half as the last shot. Same results.
What? Both guys are very comfortable on the left lane. It's just the tricked up right lane. And I think it's going to come down to speed because they're going to have to keep the ball on line.
You think it's getting a little more speed or just being consistent with their speed?
Exactly. Consistent. I'm going to go with that.
Oh, Messenger, no.
Both of them just looked so close, yet so far away.
Yeah, that one, from this vantage point, that one looked like it was close, but if you get the side angle, it probably missed by 1.5 foot, down lane. But the visual looks like, oh, I almost had it.
Chris a little bit upset. He took that towel and just slammed it back into the ball return. This pattern is frustrating. You've seen a few guys lose their cool this week, and especially in match play. you're busting your butt trying to repeat shots, and you think you repeated one, and then you don't even get closely rewarded for it. It wears on you a little bit.
We saw a lot of movement today in the top 12, and every pin, every shot was very, very important. I'm pretty sure these guys felt that. You know, the mental side of the game is just as hard as the physical, if not more. And that one carries when he's thinking the other couple should have.
Well, it's like the left lane is just a gimme. Just, okay, everybody's going to strike on the left lane. It's just who's going to trick it up on the right lane. Amleto with 99 and a fourth, a strike up. Chris Barnes, 109 and a fifth with a strike in the sixth. Amleto doesn't hold that ball as high as he used to. He used to hold it like right in front of his face. Holy cow, that ball kept going left with it had a signal light on it. It just
yeah, look at this one next to the pin deck. The last one we saw deflected. This one didn't deflect.
This didn't deflect at all. Slow motion through there. You can see it drive right to the left of that 9-pin.
Did you put a piece of paper between that ball and that pin?
I don't think you could have, but that's tough right there. Amleto right now got a 10-pin lead, but Barnes got a chance to double it up. Does he really need to bowl on the left lane because they always strike on the left lane?
I think we still have to. Yeah, I mean, John Weber's not going to let us get away with staying only on one lane, unfortunately. And, you know, Johnny runs a tight ship.
Yeah, we got.
And if you don't like John's answer, then you got to deal with Linda, and you know,
and I can't win that argument at all, so we won't even go there. We have practice for Odessa tomorrow morning at 10:30.
Just up the road, just a couple hours.
2.5 hours. So as soon as this is over, folks, everybody's getting packed up and trucking to Odessa for the next tournament. That was like 21 at the arrows, and that was different. That ball, when it hit the pocket, it went straight back. It looked like it went straight.
Well, he's got a little bit of room at the arrows.
Yeah. They're way more comfortable on that left lane.
Yeah, I don't know why we make a bowl on the left lane. I'm with you now. I mean, they both have room. They're both carrying.
Yeah.
You know.
Why even show up over there?
Well, I mean, there has been a couple 10 pins for Barnes over there, but I don't think he's going to leave anymore.
Look at how open his feet are there.
Pause. Both of them. Oh, the messenger
now
went.
That one was close.
That was headed straight for the 10-pin, and it fell off the deck right as it got there.
Look at the leverage. Deep knee bend.
Yeah. He's got such a long swing and just so much power. Well, Chris is probably, what, 6'1", 6'2"?
Yeah, about 6'1", 51 years old. How many other guys at 51 have that knee bend?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Let's see. Dino and actually, you're going to see Jack Jurek. He's got a pretty good knee bend. That ball went down there quickly.
Yeah, there's the frustration. He knows he threw some good shots on that lane, just not getting rewarded.
If we had a split screen, you can see both of those guys. They both lead with their left. You know, the styles are so similar. They both open in the backswing. Biggest difference, Amleto through the swing kind of pops the elbow and snaps, transfers the energy into the ball. Chris is just such a long swing. He uses it with his wrist and a little bit of his elbow. Oh my God. That was almost.
Where did that ball go off?
I don't know, but that was almost a 5-7-10. And then it almost became a 5-10. And he got lucky just to leave the 10. I think he's kind of in shock on that shot.
That looked good.
It looked
I guess
really good.
Nothing stood out like he missed it. He threw it hard. That looked pretty darn good.
It looked like that ball hit and went to the right as soon as it hit the pocket.
Like it was a 6-pounder.
Well, that's the first kink in the armor right there.
Max score for Barnes now, guys, is 228, and Amleto can still bowl 259. Going at 219 pace.
Well, I think Amleto's got to figure out how to strike on this right lane somehow. And that could be the key to the matches coming up. That looked,
a little inside.
That looked inside totally. He never got that to the right at all. That shot there, we can't see where he crossed. But
that's like 6 or 7 left at the air,
down at the break point. Yeah. And he got lucky enough that it didn't turn into a complete mess down there. That could have been easily a big 4. How many big 4s, Greek churches, and things did we see? Oh my God,
a lot.
Oh.
Hadcock picked up a Greek church to win the match earlier today.
Yeah, to win it, and that was a 170 game.
Yeah, 179, 176. Well, I'd really like to hear from Chris later on what he thought happened on that shot, because I got nothing on that one. But we got a match here.
And it's like the ball just hit something and went dead.
Amleto up by 11, getting up in the 9th frame.
Well, it's anybody's ball game.
What's the 10 for in his jersey? Any idea? Is there significance there?
That's how many pins he's supposed to knock down, Craig.
Yeah. You know what? I deserve that one.
that was a quick answer. That was good, Mike.
I've been meaning to say it all week, and I keep forgetting.
I'll be your straight guy all week long and set you up for those. You're welcome.
That was good. That's how many pins you're supposed to knock down.
Hit the one in the middle. Why do we have a Rocky reference every week on this show?
You always say you hit the one closest to you. There it is.
Barnes still can shoot 228.
He needs this one for a 228.
Boy, that lane is just not Chris Barnes' friend tonight.
Yeah, and Chris, if you heard that, folks, is extremely frustrated. He thought he pured that.
I don't know what else he can do.
It looks like the ball did kind of deflect to the right, but that should have carried that 10.
Oh, he's had ring 10s, a messenger in front, messenger behind. What else can you try? I mean, he's making minor adjustments, you know that, and none of them are working. It's still just a 10-pin.
What he's definitely got to do right now, he's going in the 10th. He's got to strike out for 217.
Yeah, it forces Monacelli to stay clean.
Yeah, and what happened last time? Right. Amleto opened in the 10th. So Chris he's on his good lane. Classic stance, Chris Barnes. Hesitation, lead with the left, right there, and post it. Oh, he is absolutely going to come unglued. I think just an observation, maybe an opinion, is there's just a hair too much speed and the ball isn't slowing down enough to actually go through the pins the right way. That went down there about 100 miles an hour.
I mean, he's bowling a good ball game. He's crushing the 1-3 pocket there. It's just a matter of getting the ball to go through the pins right to knock them all down. It's just nothing but 10 pins. You can feel his frustration.
Oh, you can feel the heat from here.
Yeah, that's a couple-hour drive to Odessa. I'm not sure I want to ride with Chris on that one here this afternoon. He's going to need a little time to cool off. And just
that's why we're going tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
Tomorrow morning. Oh, he juiced on that one.
Yeah.
It's just, I think he's just throwing it too hard. Is what it boils down to. He's just got so much speed. For once in my life, I'd like to throw it hard just to see what it was like.
I mean, you hit 14 once.
Oh, shut up.
You did.
Oh, I did. It's downhill. Yeah, and you throw it like 20.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah.
Well, Amleto's going to have a test shot or two. What do you want to see him try? Anything? Or?
Well, to answer that question, guess not. I would, yeah.
Take your time.
Well, there's a couple things I want to say, but I'd like to see him, since he's so far left, and I know there's a puddle in there, try another big ball, a solid.
Okay.
Just to make sure that he's not missed anything. You never want to assume anything. I'd like to see him maybe on his fill shot. He switched balls here.
Yep. Looks like they're trying a little bit different line, too. Jeff's getting down behind him pretty close to see what he's got, just to try something.
He went to a hybrid, which is, okay, that part solid, part pearl. I just don't want to see it try to get too flippy, because when that puddle in the middle, and if he creates that steep angle that he's getting to, he could push that to a 2-8-10 real easy.
Yeah, that was a good-looking shot, but I think for me, I still like the kinetic a little bit right now, but he knows what he's got to go to now, right? That's information off that.
Well, that's
what speed? Is that what that was?
That is. It's a speed. Columbia speed. But that's just information. You got to have information so you can make, hopefully, educated adjustments in the match. See, I just think sometimes they might have to work that ball so hard. Amleto 239 to Chris Barnes is 202.
Solid ball game for both gentlemen there. Next up, semifinal match. Making back-to-back shows, Jack
Jurek.
Mike's going to run down and talk to a player or two.
Get an insight on what's going on that right lane, or actually what's going on with all the 10 pins. Lennie Boresch coming up, taking his practice shots. Seeing the backside of Dale Ballard. What an incredible guy. Lennie's going to get a couple shots as tournament leader. And
guys, I'm down here with Chris Barnes. I think the thing we really want to know is on the right lane, what was going on that lane for you?
Oh, it hooks earlier for everybody, and it's tighter down lane. But, I mean, I had it matched up. It just threw too many strikes in practice and just picked up just a touch sooner. And actually both lanes did. And so then all of a sudden I went from high flush every shot to high flush for 9 every shot. And then I tried to move a little bit off of it, and I got half pocket on a couple shots, and those didn't strike either, and then you're out of room.
So if you had to do it all over again, what would you do differently?
I mean, in a one-game match, it's all you can do. It's all a sprint. I mean, it's always been the problem with TV shows, is you don't have time to. Versatility doesn't really come into play. You kind of have to pick at poison and go with it. And if you get a chance to make a ball change at some point, that's great. But every time we bowl on the fresh, they've been a little bit different. And I mean, I don't know. I threw 7 shots in practice. I struck all 7 shots. I didn't even have a half pocket one in practice. So I don't know what other ball, I mean, maybe I could have traded, but I don't know. It would have changed anything, to be honest. And I'm Amleto good enough to not literally let me have a free swing at it. And, the one in the seconds kind of changes the whole thing. Puts you down in a spot where you should at least be even or ahead. And it ends up putting more pressure on the shots after it, and then they all feel like they kind of build up after a little bit.
Because you're so good at analyzing things, I got to ask you, who do you like tonight to maybe win this thing?
Well, I mean, Amleto has evidently figured out both lanes. So, but there's another transition that's about to happen through here, and the one thing that showed up earlier is that both Jack and Lennie can float the ball through the front a little easier than all the rest of us, and still get it to pick up in the right spot. They can keep their speed down without it hooking early. And on that right lane, I think that's going to be the key. And right now, Amleto's got it pretty good, but I mean, you saw it with me. It didn't take very long to go from pretty good to pretty marginal. And if he can fight through that without practice balls, he has a great look. But I think one of those guys is. I actually have a feeling Jack's going to make a run through it.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Another show for Chris Barnes, guys. He's got one title this year, and he would have liked to won here today in Lubbock.
Well, he threw a great game. It's just he didn't get the breaks and rewarded for the great shots that he made. I agree with what Chris said. The guys with a soft hand that can get the ball to actually float and then still turn the corner without hooking early has definitely got a chance.
Yeah, I think if there's another transition in, then that really just that just feeds right into Lennie, right, where he's that voodoo roll.
Yeah, he's got that match that I bowled Lennie, and he shot 257, and that was towards the end of match play. He was playing the lanes a lot farther right, but the ball never hooked early for him, where it was hooking early for everybody else, and everybody in that on those lanes down there were a zone left of where he was playing, and he was able to get it, basically playing it down like 15, 17 and getting it to hold, and everybody else is playing somewhere around 23.
Yeah, I mean, Mike and I talked at lunch there as we were looking at who was left in this field before that last 8 games, and we said Lennie's got a great chance because there was no real oil this afternoon.
Right.
And this ball doesn't see the first 20 foot of lane.
It doesn't. It never seems like it ever picks up in the front. You didn't see early hook.
Yeah, I mean, what a great story, though. Jack hasn't bowled. Really, he's got a lot of things that were going on at home with health with his parents and other things, a couple injuries that he's had, and he comes out back-to-back shows.
Yeah,
Welcome back, Jack.
Yeah, and when Jack was out here 3 years ago, he was making shows and was an incredible bowler. Then he disappeared for a while, and it doesn't look like he doesn't look any different, and he doesn't throw it any different.
Never
he still looks the
beat.
same.
Never missed a beat.
Guys, we saw Brian LeClaire earlier this week average 260 his first opening round. And then it felt like, Gentleman Jack here, the lanes kind of came to him as the tournament went on. And he was able to shape it off the same spot that LeClaire did, but he's a little bit softer, gets around it a little bit more. The lanes really came to him. I like what Barnes said down there. He thinks it might be Jack's week. And it is his roommate, so he's probably thinking for a free meal or a free hotel room.
He's thinking that.
But at the same time, this is back-to-back shows for Jurek.
Jack is obviously physically prepared, but I think more than anything, he is mentally prepared. He's got a chance to come back out. He's wanted to be out here, but like Craig said, he had things to take care of at home, and now he's ready to play.
And you wonder how much, really, legitimately, what were Jack's expectations coming out? He hasn't bowled in a while. Just going to go out and bowl.
Yeah.
It's almost like a free-roll, right? These other guys have been out here. They know where they're at. They know where the game is right now against his fields. Where Jack's just like, let me go bowl, see what happens. No pressure.
Well, just come out and have some fun.
Yeah.
And he is. And he never looks upset, even when things don't seem to be going his way.
Jurek having Amleto start the match on the left lane here. Back-to-back games. Amleto finishes on the right lane.
Well, he was having a powwow with Del Ballard down there.
Is he open that Amleto starts getting the Barnes 10-pin look on that right lane, maybe? Because Amleto hasn't seen that yet. But
no. It could happen, though, as Chris had alluded to earlier, that there's going to be another transition coming. And that's going to be the big one for Amleto, because both of these guys are going to play him a little bit straighter, I think, than Amleto. But right now, Jack's, he's pretty deep in there.
is that the reality solid? Is that what he had in his hand there? Or is that his Zen Master? He didn't quite get a good look at that one.
Yeah, whatever it is, it just left him a mess. 3.647. Makeable, but not something you want to try to shoot at. I think it was a reality.
Yeah, reality. Yeah, we saw the 3.6, 4.10, or 3.6, 4.10, 3.6, 7.10 lot this week. Not this variation, though. It's usually been one pin on the left side you have to kick out.
Oh. Looked like that ball was, I'm not sure his spare ball looked like it was actually going to try to hook.
We learned a little something about Jack earlier today, too. He's got a little history here in West Texas.
He does.
He does. He bowled collegiately over at West Texas State, or West Texas A&M with the Scroggins brothers.
I did not know that.
He's got a lot of history in this part of the country. How's that for a college team? You got Jurek, Mark, and Mike Scroggins.
That'd be pretty good.
That's a pretty good threesome right there, and a very storied program over there at West Texas.
Oh, there's the ball change right there.
Yeah.
Altered reality.
And he threw that as last shot in practice, and I'm surprised he went to the other one. I mean, his last shot in practice struck on the right lane with that ball.
Another, just a little softer, but again, in the backswing, all three guys open up a little bit in the backswing, get their hand and their elbow definitely inside the shot.
Yeah, Jack's at the same break point, but he's 3 or 4 right at the arrows than where Chris was and where Amleto's been.
He got away with that because that just went right through the nose. Amleto starting out with a double. That was just.
Yeah, Mark McDowell also on that team. I forgot that one. Thanks, Jeff. Carolyn Doran Ballard went to West Texas. I mean, just a great program they've had over there. Mark Scroggins still the coach, and there's Amleto beat Dino Castillo, and then Chris Barnes, and now he's got Jack Jurek here in this semifinal match.
That was around 21, 22 at the arrows. He just broke up another mess.
Yeah, look, he doesn't post. Well, it did a little bit. Look, he just kind of, I don't know.
Well, he didn't post that shot.
No, that didn't look right.
And as you fall to the right, normally the ball is going to the left. I mean, you got to try to keep your balance, right? So your swing is going to come inside. You're going to miss your target left. Ball's going to come in high. He never got through that before he jumped out of it. Well, Amleto got a break there with just having to shoot the old 4-7. Amleto starts out with double, 8 spare. Jack Jurek had that ugly mess in frame 1, follows it up with a strike.
Oh, the double lane's right back in the match early on here.
So his first ball has got benched. He's changed to the altered reality on the right lane. Jack with just a classic style. I mean, to me, he's just almost a stylist. Just a real smooth 5-step approach. And there is 10-pin heaven, and we know that on this right lane. So what kind of moves can you make when a guy's got a soft hand? Is he going to try to get around it more? It's not like he's going to throw it harder, but he's got to figure out some way to get the ball to continue through the pins.
Maybe that's why him and Dell decided to go with the reality solid there on that right lane to try to kick that corner pin out, because that one looked like it never had a chance.
I guess there's some wrist tricks. I mean, and Amleto said it in qualifying. Well, actually, in the match play today, he said, "To me, this pattern's more about tricking your wrist and ball speed than it is about anything else. Trying to figure out how to get that ball to go through the pins." I mean, we don't see it here, but the guys out there doing subtle wrist adjustments, trying to get the ball to shape up different ways.
That was right at the arrows, right down lane.
Oh, that was like 17 at the arrows.
Yeah, that was right and came back nice.
But it didn't come back strong. I mean, he got the 10 out. He goes through it as right at 17 out to probably 7-6 down lane. That was quite a ways, and just taps out the 10 with a little leg kick there.
Kicks it out there with the right ankle.
Whoa. He fell out of that, lost it, whatever he did, and ended up with a strike. And that was just, you can't even talk. I don't know. What do you say about that shot?
He says, "Hey, Jack, watch how far right I give him."
Oh, my God.
You're next. Yeah.
That was just, yeah. Well, sometimes you get the breaks.
Well, it came back from out there. Do you
No, you don't. No, you don't.
You know what I'm going to ask. I mean, it wouldn't. You sure?
I mean, would you try it?
Well, yeah, probably. But I'm not Amleto. I don't repeat shots.
Amleto taking a re-rack here, guys. The first one he's using. Didn't like something over here on the left lane.
Well, we're allowed 2 per match. So he's 1 in. That was like 22 at the arrows.
Yeah, he
oh, my Lord.
He got a little bit of that one. That was a little more authority on that one.
Yeah, he hit the devil out of that, but still, it's 22, and that ball was, you can't even call that high flush.
That was going left to the 8-pin.
That was high nose. So right now, Ameleto's got the bowling gods with him because he's carried 2 shots that
miss right strike, miss left strike. Now you throw it good, you're going to leave a stone 10-pin. That's the way the bowling gods treat you, though.
Oh, that was pure.
That was pure.
That was money, guys.
Yeah, that was.
That's how we all wish we could throw it.
Yeah,
Look at this shot right here.
Look at how he posted.
Balance, everything. Knee bend.
How close that ball was to his ankle. That's great leverage. That ball even went out. And maybe you're right. That ball went out to like 5. So maybe Amleto will try it again to send it out there.
I think they might have found something by mistake, and you know what? Jump on it.
There's times that happens. You throw a ball, and it's not where you wanted, and you went, ooh, well, maybe I've been trying to play him wrong.
I have that reaction a lot. Where'd that come from? I don't know. All right, Jack needs a strike here. Keep the pressure on Amleto. Let him know he's still here, not going away. That was a little bit tighter. Still a good shot.
Oh.
Wow.
See, and that was high like Ameleto's, but Amleto got away with it. Unfortunately, Jack does not. Crossing 17 out to 7-8, and the 4-pin just hits the sidewall and jumps in front of the 7.
You see, he got that farther out down lane. That ball came back strong. I think they stumbled onto something down there.
Well, they might have found something. We'll see if they try to repeat. We'll see this real quick. Jack Jurek with 96 in the 5th with a spare up. Amleto with 68 and a third strikes in the 4th and 5th.
Lennie Boresch down there, waiting to bowl for the title, the winner of this match.
He didn't get it out clear to 5 like he did the last shot.
Not quite, but it's still a little bit farther right than where they've been.
2. That power step, he's got a really small power step in that 4th step. That ball just drove, though. Maybe he found something. Or maybe he found area down lane.
Well, remember the last match we saw, he had some room with the arrows, especially on that left lane. I mean, he was sitting anywhere from 18 to 21. And now it looks like maybe he found a little bit something down lane. And if you give these players any type of room anywhere on the lane, it's not good for your opponent.
22. Well, that was high again, but he didn't get away with that one like he did the last time. I don't know. I'm surprised he tried to repeat that shot. 127 in the 5th. Should be an easy spare conversion on this 4-pin for Amleto.
Yeah, he's going to have a little lead here going to the back third of the game. But he's got to make, I think you're seeing it too, to make a couple of quality shots. I mean, yeah, he struck the last couple times there, but not necessarily what he was trying to do.
Well,
with the ball,
you don't get in the Hall of Fame and be where these guys and get all the accolades that they have without being able to repeat, and see something different than the normal guy out here throwing a bowling ball.
Well, and what was it? Was it the Villages when we saw Amleto? Every time he left a 4-pin, then he'd just move and throw a 6-bagger. It's like the last thing you want to do is watch him leave a 4-pin if you're bowling against him because you know what's coming next.
Oh, that is how you pick up the 7-10, folks.
Well, that's one way to do it. That's one way to do it.
Jack's walking back, and he didn't even smile about that shot.
Because look, I mean, he threw it almost the same spot and got really almost the worst result.
Yeah, he got it out to 5, and it looked like it was going to be a 7-10. That was brutal.
Yeah, I think we understand why they started with a rally in that lane, because the Alter just does not want to kick those corners. Chris couldn't get it to do it as good as he threw it, and Jack's having the same issue. Left lane, totally different. No problem there.
Yeah, and obviously, folks, it's the same pattern on both lanes, but both lanes aren't playing the same.
Well, there's this topography thing.
Uh-oh.
He dinoed that one.
Well, yeah, he hated that shot and got away with it, and it didn't look as bad as he's making it look like.
No, I agree, Matt. It just something he didn't like. Maybe just kind of flew off his hand. Maybe missed it just a touch. But you know what? The result is there. 116 in the 6th, strikes in the 7th and 8th for Jack Jurek.
Amleto 147 and 6, 9 spare in the 7th.
Amleto, let's see what he does here. Does he get it outside again? That's a little bit tighter.
And there, we've seen that before, the messenger that doesn't hit anything.
A couple of times. Yep. Shows up postage due.
Jack Jurek was a possible 236.
Yeah, Amleto 246.
46. Yeah, we got a 10-pin match.
Well, if you're Lennie over there and you're seeing this, you got to be feeling pretty good, right?
Boy, there's that slam into the floor again. It's like he lost it off his hand, but it picks up the spare.
Semifinal match here in Lubbock, PBA Senior U.S. Open. We got a giveaway going here. How about a T-shirt? Come on up in about 40 seconds. Bottom left of your screen. All you got to do is click on the box when it pops up there and win yourself a T-shirt. Lennie Boresch from Kenosha waiting for the winner of this one. And a title on that big trophy. We've got a camera shot of it at a couple angles. You see, it's a big gold cup.
That thing's
tall. Solid gold.
That thing's taller than Wayne Webb.
It's
Oh, man, shots fired.
yeah, your rent in the parking lot just went up. Wayne, that was Tom Carter.
Well, it is.
A little bit right and a little bit farther
Oh.
right. That was right, and goodness gracious.
That he fired, and that got out to like 2-3.
That
and
hydroplaned.
we have a 210. He just kind of opened up the door a little bit there for Jack. Jack's just
Yeah,
got
you
to take
opened it and sent him an invitation to come on right through
Yeah.
and sit down and have a snack.
beer is cold.
He'll make it.
He'll make it?
Yeah.
Not if you don't hit something.
Max score now for Monacelli 222. Jack Jurek 236.
Amleto in the first match gave a opening, and Dino wasn't able to take advantage of it. Now he's giving Jack an opening.
Now we got a re-rack.
I think we've seen, for the most part, everything's been on spot. I think the re-rack's just more just to slow things down a little bit, take a breather.
It could be. There were a couple pair that the force. Oh, the 4-6 was a little bit out of whack.
Okay.
Well, he slaps out the old 7, so Jack Jurek with a 3-bagger.
Well, and again, I think we know also why Jurek wanted to finish on the left lane. He's, not having trouble getting the corners out over there.
Now, who wants to finish on the right lane?
Again, 222 max score for Amleto Monacelli. Jack Jurek 236.
Is that pure? It is. Ho ho.
Yeah, it was
Well,
17 and a half, out to 7, 8.
He looks almost like he split the 8-9 there.
Absolutely perfect.
He just needs not to do something stupid right here.
Needs good count.
No 5 counts.
Yeah, 9's a winner. He knew it. I like that little fist pump. There you go. Nice shot, Jack Jurek.
Jack Jurek is going to advance to bowl the guy with the voodoo roll, Lennie Boresch.
Is Jack won on a 52er?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't have that stat handy. You have a get your
sort
laptop.
Of. Yeah, I don't have all of that anymore.
.236. Amleto now just has to go through the motions to finish up. He's got a possible .222. Jack Jurek advancing to bowl our tournament leader, Lennie Boresch.
A great week for Amleto Monacelli. He was my pick after one game, actually.
Oh, yeah. Who'd you guys pick? did you have your draw? Where's the sheet? I want to see it.
Yeah, we didn't pick. There we go. Jack Jurek has 2 titles. Yeah,
Walter Ray, our statistician here this week in the booth.
Well, I just reminded you, you can look at on the PBA website. You can see all that. PBA 50 all-time titleists. Yeah, Jack Jurek with 2. All right. Thank you, Walter.
The stat master.
We'll have to get him a dry erase board for the next event. He can give us all the numbers we need, yeah. Well, our championship match is set. How about it? Jack Jurek's going to bowl for a title against Lennie Boresch.
212 for Amleto. He had a great week. He bowled great. Anytime you make the show at the U.S. Open and bowl on this pattern, you bowled great. You didn't make very many bad shots.
Lennie with 4 titles. Were they all in the villages?
Yeah,
he owns
all
that
the villages.
Place. Yeah, he owns that place. And going to get a couple practice shots for Lennie. You get Mike down there to talk to Amleto. For our Spanish-speaking audience, you can turn into BowlTV Deportes and enjoy the show.
Well, let's give them a hand. Jack Jurek.
Jimbo Evans behind us on the mic. He does a great job here.
You're not going to find a better setup at a lot of these bowling centers for you players. I mean, kept cold water for everybody, lots of snacks, lots of baked goods, whatever anybody needs.
His wife Sunday, there was more food back there. I mean, you could feed an army back there.
League bowlers, just a reminder, as soon as we crown the champion, we'll go down there and turn your lanes on for you as soon as you guys are ready to start. You don't have to start together.
Guys are waiting to bowl league here as soon as we finish up tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Wait till the tournament's over. We'll get you going. We'll get you in your extra 15 minutes of practice.
Yeah. They're ready to bowl league. No. Jimbo's done a great job, the Lubbock Sports Authority here.
We got Mike and Amleto here now.
Guys, I'm here with Amleto. Amleto won a couple matches out there. What happened in the 9th frame?
I got around it a little bit and the ball skidded. It's real bad. Simple as that.
Just not a good shot. Well, it looked like you created quite a bit of area out there. Tom and Craig were talking about the area you were able to create. What was your recipe for success out there tonight when you were rolling along and won a couple matches?
Well, the key was when I changed to the kinetic ice. I started bowling pretty good tonight, and then at the end I saw that it started getting a little hook early, and then it didn't hook. And then I said, I'm going to move way in and slow down my speed and let it arc a little bit. And that worked. I shot 260, 250 to make the show. And basically I was trying to do the same thing here. It worked pretty good. I just stood by there.
Now, well, you're a fan favorite. You going to bowl Odessa next week?
Yes. Yeah, I had to defend.
Oh, yeah, you do have to defend Odessa. I should have known that. Well, Amleto, you keep making shows, man, and everybody loves watching you. Good luck next week.
Thank you. Thank you for your do. Thank you.
It's Amleto, guys.
Amleto got to defend at Odessa. Diamond Lanes. Yeah, we take off there tomorrow morning. 2.5 hours away.
I think we're just going to strap our rental car to the back of your motorhome and we'll sleep the way there. You can just drag us along.
There you go.
Will that work?
Then after Odessa, we have a 12-hour trip north, basically almost straight north, to Greeley, Colorado. First time there.
Yeah, it's always nice to see a new part of the country, some new centers, and Greeley's should be a fun one.
And we got a regional right in front of it at in Loveland, Colorado.
You just bowled 43 games today. You're going to bowl more before the next tournament? What's wrong with you?
I'm not right. I didn't say I was going to bowl. I said there's a regional there.
Okay, all right. Lennie with the practice shots.
Yeah, I was checking in with the chat here that we have here on BowlTV. Appreciate all the positive comments here tonight. I saw a little comment about Del Ballard. Yeah, it's great to see Del Ballard out here, and he is doing very well, by the way, because he has been up here in the booth a lot, giving us insight, dropping us notes, and definitely giving everybody the business. So great to see Del out here. I noticed some folks in the chat talking about Del.
He's got a wealth of knowledge, and he's out here, repping for his guys. And if Del tells you to make a move, left or right or change balls, you better be doing it because I think he's seen it all.
Jurek just staying loose down there.
I'm going to bring it into the booth to you guys. I'm going to put you guys on the spot. Who are you guys picking in this one here? You taking Lennie with the voodoo roll, or are you taking our man, Gentleman Jack, who's making back-to-back shows here?
Tom, you go ahead.
I'm taking Lennie.
Sentimental pick is Jack, right? But I think as we've talked now for the last couple of days, especially with the carry issues we're seeing on the right lane, Lennie can just go right at him. I don't know. It's a tough match. I think we're going to be in mid 220s for a winning score, maybe 230s. But I think I got to give the edge to Lennie with the run he's had today. He's on a high right now.
Lennie kind of. He was like the dark horse coming out around the three-quarter pole, and he just started passing everybody.
Look, he was down 200 with 3 to go, and also needs a tournament leader. So I don't know how you can go against that momentum right now this afternoon.
Obviously, Jack's throwing it phenomenal.
Absolutely.
He's got a beautiful roll going. It's really tough to pick a winner because they're both going to be playing them fairly close. I think Lennie's going to be playing a little bit farther right than Jack is going to be playing, but it's – I've seen Lennie 1,000 times in these really, really tough situations and tough lane conditions, and he always finds a way to make it look like it was easy, and it's not easy.
Well, and the other thing, the X factor, is Lennie's been in this position several times in the last 3-4 years, and Jack hasn't. I mean, yeah, Jack's won before, but it's been a while since he's been in this position to bowl for a title and a major.
Yeah. There's no doubt that there could be a little bit of a squeeze factor going on for both of them. It's $12,000 first place. So a nice little coin to take home.
Well, guys, for me, watching practice, I think the player that can go a little more left to right has an advantage. That missed room to the right, be able to get the ball to peel back. I kind of like Jurek a little bit here. What we got to watch for Lennie is if he gets it going too far left to right, that voodoo roll does not pick up and does not get back to the pocket. 44-foot pattern and length this week. And it plays pretty slick if you get it going too much left or right with too much speed. So we will see.
Well, we're about to find out because championship match here at the 2022 PBA Senior U.S. Open is upon us. Jack, Jurek, Lennie, Boresch. Lennie's going to make Jack finish on that right lane, which is it's a good call.
Everybody was trying to make people finish on that right lane.
Yeah, why not? I didn't like that one.
Sometimes the ones you don't like are the ones that carry. Simple spare, 4-pin, shouldn't have any problem with that. But I did see this missed a few times. Throwing straight at it, the ball just kind of backed up a little bit.
Yeah, the big key, whether you use a spare ball or not, as we've seen both, players do both, is on this pattern, you better go straight at those single pins.
Yeah, I seen a couple guys trying to hook it across the lane at the 4-7, and that didn't work so well.
So, I mean, you just think in your mind, I do it all the time, but no, not on this pattern.
Not
Not
on-
on this
yeah.
44-footer. Not happening.
Lennie's got, we have 3 people on the show that have a hesitation step. It's a little bit different in everybody's approach, but they have it.
Is that in like a RSTX1? Or
Yes, it
something
is.
Like that? Yeah.
RSTX1, a hybrid, roto grip. And that's the model Lennie used to shoot 257 to me. Real simple drilling. Pins basically right at 12 o'clock. Mass is next to the thumb. Nothing fancy.
Speaking of fancy, Fancy Williams in the chat. Hello, Fancy.
Lennie at 17. But see, Lennie's not. That's pretty tight. I mean, he's crossing 17,
Watch
taking
watch this ball off the pattern. It wiggles right here and then picks back up again.
Yeah, so what do you get it out to? 10, 12? So he's playing it pretty tight.
Which is what we expected out of Lennie.
Like I said, when I bowled him, he was so far right compared to everybody else, and he could trap the pocket.
As strange as it sounds, I think this match is a carry contest. Not a high-scoring carry contest, but who's going to kick out more 10 pins is going to win this match.
Jack got it out to that zone down lane. Not quite as far as he did that one shot in the previous match out there, like 3-4, 4-5. But he got it out to about 5. It just comes barreling back.
Yeah, picking up nice. How about the crowd here too? They understand when to make noise, when to not make noise. Pretty smart crowd here in Lubbock. They've had a lot of events in this building. That was just slow all the way.
Never got it
Never
to the
got
spot. It just never. Yeah, it started hooking literally a foot and a half sooner than it should have.
Okay, just a little more up the back of that one or something too, and just didn't get off his hand nice. Didn't look like.
It's kind of funny. Everybody's so quiet, even with the people coming in that are getting ready to bowl league right after we're done.
Right.
They're all so quiet. Respect the game.
Got a chance. Got a chance. Wow.
He thought he had that. He gave it a run. But the one thing you don't want to do is give Lennie Boresch an opening.
No, okay, he's not going to give it back to you very often.
He knows how to slam the door in your face.
You know, Lennie's a guy that maybe not a lot of people know bowled the National Tour a bunch, but he's bowled a bit. Of course, we all know on the 50 Tour, but everybody up in the Midwest knows who Lennie Boresch is. He's a guy you don't want to see walk into your local tournament because he's going to take your money with a smile.
Whoa. That angle wasn't so good.
No, not so much.
That ball never changed direction when it should have in the back end.
It changed direction and when it hit the pins, unfortunately.
Yeah, to the right.
Lennie does use plastic for his spares.
Yeah.
Always has a little hop.
Yeah.
No problem.
Lennie's got a unique style. It is just as cupped up in the approach as Chris Barnes is when you see his setup. And it looks like he has all the weight of the ball sitting right on the base of his thumb because his wrist is so cupped. You look at Lennie, his wrist is broken back the opposite direction.
You know, it seems like all the great bowlers have a little trick, a little bit something unique that other players don't have, and that's what sets them apart.
Ball is just not picking up, and that's the lane supposed to be the easy lane.
So that RS XTX
That's
X1,
a mouthful,
called
isn't it?
RSTX1. That's not a big hookup ball, right? It's just kind of a above mid, you know.
Well,
Not a ton of surface on it, doesn't look like.
No, it's. I wouldn't call it a big ball.
No.
It's a very continuous ball. I mean, and it can cover a lot of ground, obviously, if the pattern is conducive to that. But it's definitely a ball on this pattern that you can control the back end. And Lennie just thought he missed the 2-8.
But control the back end, but does it give him any room up front, though? Is it maybe he needs a little more ball up front to keep it on line? Or what are you seeing from Lennie?
I'm going with speed again.
Yeah.
I just think this shot, as Amleto said in the interview, that what got him here was to slow it down and let the ball shape a little more. And Jack is softer with his speed. I mean, he's definitely given the ball more shape on the back end, where Lennie's, I'm going to call it more direct.
He peered that one. He knew it, too. Well, another strike for Jurek, and he's right back into this match with a half game to go. The last 2 shots from Lennie were a little suspect.
43 games down. Actually, no, we got 3 more. 46 games. We're in our 47th game so far.
Is that all?
Walking back with a little fist bump there. He's right back in the game.
We got a ball game, ladies and gentlemen.
Very methodical heel-toe approach. You definitely don't see Jack Jurek get quick with his feet.
Oh, and how about the matches we've had so far today, though? Every one of them's been fantastic. Back and forth, nobody running away with anything.
No, basically you didn't know who was going to win until about the 9th frame. Hesitation and through it. Oh, the tough lane 7-10. There is an opening for Jack. Wow. Mike Flanagan, you might have just pulled this out.
You think that was quick, Tom? You could a little fast, just kind of yanked it down through? Or?
Yeah, right there, you see the little hesitation. When you get that power step gets too quick, then you got to pull down in order to stay in time.
Well, you see the score. That big split for Jack. 44 in the 3rd, comes back with strikes in the 4th, 5th. Lennie just 7-10s, 94 in the 5th.
Guys, both players have a lot on the line here tonight that's probably in their noggins. You got Jack Jurek, who lost his mother, didn't get a chance to bowl some events, missed some events to take care of things at home.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Lennie Boresch, who just lost to Ron Moore in a Super Senior Classic. Needed to go up and he lost by just a few pins, and then he hasn't won since 2018.
You know, and it's funny that you say that, 2018 seems like he's won, since then, because Lennie's always on the show. He's always up there. I didn't realize it's been 4 years since he's won.
I interviewed him in Vegas, and that was one of the things that he came right out with.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, hasn't won since the Villages, April 28, 2018. And for Jack, it was 2015.
7 years ago. Wow. You hear that snap? Boy. Oh, I'd be curious to know. I mean, you hear that pop, but I don't think it's his thumb. I think it's his fingers. Jack was 73 in the 4th. Strike in the 5th. Should be an easy conversion here, giving him 93 in the 5th.
You make me nervous when you say that. Easy conversion.
Easy.
Easy conversion.
Well, it should be.
Just a 4-pin?
It's just a 4-pin. It's a single pin spare. You throw straight at it, and you knock it down just like that. So we have a 1-pin match.
Well, Jack's got to finish on that right lane.
That nobody wants to be on.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I don't want to call this a must-strike situation, but if Jack strikes here, that definitely gives him not a foot up, but he doesn't get left in the dust.
See,
Beautiful shot
that ball
there.
Did the same thing that Lennie's did his first shot. You watch it come off the pattern, it wiggle, but then it's still picked up. Watch this. It just scoots and then tips.
Then it picks up. Yeah. We've talked about this so many times on the show that there's kind of like a box down lane. And if you can get the ball in that box, you see good motion out of it and through the pins. It's just getting it to that spot down lane. And that box isn't very big right now.
And that box moves on you, too.
Yeah, you're right. It's like hitting a dime, hitting a dollar, and it depends on how much of a spot you can develop down lane.
Oh, there you go. And there
I
you go.
thought
He
that was high
kicked
from our
10
angle.
out. Yeah, but that's big, kicking that 10 on that right lane.
Yeah, and that gives Lennie Boresch a double. Strikes in the 6th and 7th. That just looked like it was. That was definitely high flush then.
Oh, it was.
Well, just like all the previous matches, this is going to come down to the nitty-gritty right at the end.
And we wouldn't have it any other way.
No, that's what makes it fun.
Great interaction in the chat. We appreciate all you fans out there for watching all week long. Again, and of course, we've got another event coming up in Lubbock. Not Lubbock, we're in Lubbock now. Another event up in Odessa starting, Friday morning.
3-bagger for Lennie.
That one, he really looked like he really made sure he rolled it off his hand.
Yeah, after Greeley, then we got like a 2-week break before we start in what we call the Midwest swing.
Yeah, the Dave Small tour, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Dave Small centers, Grand Rapids, Westland, Michigan for the final major. And wrap things up in your neck of the woods there.
Yeah.
Your buddy Wayne Webb.
Yep, and Wayne Webb's Columbus Bowl.
Boresch can bowl 244, and Jack Jurek can still max out at 233.
Beautiful shot there for Jack Jurek. Pressure doesn't seem to bother him, but he would definitely need this one in the 9th to make Lennie come up and dance a little bit from the 10th.
Well, he's period a couple shots in that right lane, left a 4-pin that the shot before that, so he's getting to the pocket there just fine. I remember earlier in the matches today, he's a couple 10s. It's
funny, we were talking about pearl balls that have been sanded. Most people don't think that you would ever sand a pearl ball. Like they're too pretty to sand. But surface is a big part of this game. That was like 18 at the arrows, and he never got that right, and that is pretty much shutting the door.
Well,
that ball
he's
just.
going to need some help.
Yeah.
Look at this. This was left and
it was left and left. It never got there.
And you mentioned surface, and I'll tell you what, if we didn't learn anything at all from Mo Pinnell, it should have been surface. I mean, did he preach that more than anybody?
Yeah. His big thing was 70% of ball reaction is ball surface to lane surface. Change the surface. If the ball doesn't slow down, it can't hook.
Well, it's an unfortunate shot there, Jack. Just missed a little bit. Opens up 168 in the 9th, 198 max score now.
And then
Lennie's in a driver's seat.
That's what happened to Amleto. He opened in the 9th.
Lennie taking a couple deep breaths here now.
Yeah, Lennie's just got to keep his feet underneath him and execute the shot.
Yeah, just again, like you said, just don't do anything stupid.
There's something you don't see very often. Both feet basically straight across from each other, not opened up at the hips.
Took a lot of time
on
there.
that one. There it is. Lennie's trying to collect his emotions right now. He knows where he's at. And when you haven't won for a couple years, it's just going to be a big deal to him, especially a major.
Are going to hit
U.S.
Open.
Open.
Yeah, it's you know what? You don't want to ever see anybody lose, but there's guys. It's great to see him win. Again, here and there. And Lennie's put in the time.
Well, Jack's going to win again too. There's
no doubt.
There's no doubt.
Back-to-back shows, getting back on tour for the first time in a while, and he's not going to have any complaints for sure. but he'd like the W there.
Yeah.
There you go.
There
How about that? There's your emotion right there.
Right there.
Right
Yeah.
there.
Now he's just got to hold it together and stay behind the foul line.
Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah. I think it's almost trying to hold back the tears at this point.
Here's that shot
Yeah.
again, guys.
Yeah, look at this.
Look
And watch this reaction.
Beautiful shot across like 18. How tight is he keeping that ball? I mean, he is just piping that thing to the pocket.
Yeah, and that's, you know what? That's something he can do as good as anybody.
Yes, he can.
As good as anybody.
Yeah. I think he threw that shot with water in his eyes. Congratulations. Well, both guys, congratulations. Especially to Jack Jurek, making back-to-back shows. Welcome back. It's great to have him back out on the tour. A 3-year hiatus. And Lennie winning again for the first time in roughly 5 years. Yep. I told you he was trying to bowl through water. There. That's a big win. I don't know how well he's going to do in the interview.
Well, I think he'll get it together here. But, yeah, this is a big deal for Lennie. I mean, a major tournament here. I mean, anytime you win a U.S. Open, that's incredible.
Yeah. And the field here was incredible. And the U.S. Open pattern was what it should be. It was absolutely, I can't say it's brutal, but it was extremely tough.
Got tougher as the week went on. The more strip and re-oils there were, that was for sure.
Well, then when we had back-to-back oils there, that really changed the pattern. That was something that caught everybody off guard. Jack Jurek ended up with 197 to Lennie Boresch's 233. Lennie Boresch, the 2022 U.S. Open champion.
Don't go anywhere, anybody. We're going to have an interview with Lennie.
Yeah, now how's he going to get that big trophy home?
Tom, I'm going to move a camera. If you want to fill some time, that'd be great.
John Weber giving the announcements here, basically thanking Jimbo Evans and his wife, Sunday. Del Ballard here. We'll be getting that interview with Lennie Boresch here. I think Craig Elliott's got the mic. They get the cameras resituated. And we'll get Lennie's feelings if he can keep his composure. Again, congratulations to Lennie Boresch, the man with the voodoo roll.
We always like it when Jimbo's giving out money. By the way, thanks to Lubbock Sports, they've been with
Jimbo Evans out front with the money. This is the best part of the show. Somebody's getting paid.
Yes, I'm going to be speaking on behalf of Jimbo. First off, we would like to congratulate our second place finisher, Jack Jurek, on some great bowling this week. Congratulations, Jack. Lennie, on behalf of Lubbock Sports, Storm Bowling, and South Plains Lanes, I would like to congratulate you on being our 2022 Senior U.S. Open Champion. Congratulations, Lennie.
Wow, look at the size of that trophy. It's half the size of Jimbo Evans. That thing's huge.
I wonder what he's going to put in that thing.
Yeah, you're filling that with beer. You'll have a cocktail.
Some Wisconsin beer, of course.
Yeah, Spotted Cow.
Let's get it so we can hear the guys on an extra frame. Congratulations, Lennie Boresch. It's been over 4 years since your last win in the Villages. Yeah. Great performance today. You made a heck of a run, 7-1 in match play in the final round. What else you want to talk about here? You got some guys to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank Del Ballard, my ball rep, for keeping me and just focusing on the lanes. I want to congratulate Jack on great bowling. Storm Bowling, my God, they give me the best tools to bowl with. High five jerseys, turbo grips, and just the whole staff here is just fantastic. And baby, I did it. Honey and Jackie, thank you. Laura and Jake. All my people back home, I want to say thanks for all your support. The Texas are just overwhelming, and God darn it, man, this feels good.
So we mentioned it's been 4 years. You made the show at the Super Senior Classic. Yep. You've been waiting for this for a while. Did you think it was going to happen again?
You get Father Time in on my side, and you get old, and all these young guns out here that rev it up. You never know. I try to keep it in play and use my touch and experience to try to get through it, and it seemed to work pretty good today. But I was hoping to get one more title, and it was really nice to get a major. Gives me opens a couple doors. Hall of Fame eligible. Everything's better, Texas.
All right. Hey, one more time. Yeah. Congratulations for our champion, Lennie Boresch, ladies and gentlemen. Great performance this week also by Jack Jurek. Jack, it's great to see you back out here. And again, for all the players and everybody else, thank you to Jimbo and Sunday Evans. Always great coming to Lubbock, and we're looking forward to coming back again. Thanks, everybody.
There you have it, Craig Elliott down there on the lanes interviewing Lennie Boresch. What
an incredible finish. What an incredible finish. It's funny, Lennie thinks that, Father Time is, getting to him, but you wouldn't know it by the way he throws it and the way he competes. He's an animal on the lanes. Hey, at the USBCs, he shot, I think, 22-36, or 20.
Well, let's
some
just
huge
say
number.
He had an incredible trip to Las Vegas, that's for sure.
Yeah,
he started with the OCs, then went on to the Super Senior Classic, and bowled well in the Senior Masters as well, and carries it over here this week in the U.S. Open with the win.
He's just an incredible player. I don't care how old Lennie Boresch gets, you will not be able to count him out.
Let's bring it back into the booth, and Craig and Tom, you guys can wrap this one up.
Oh,
Here we are.
Here we are. We get to go to Odessa. We're going to pack up and
heading up the road and back live here on BowlTV Friday.
Yep.
What a Stepladder. I mean, every match was great. Lennie just got up. Did we have to do the emotion there? It's great to see that, I mean,
I don't know how he threw those last couple of shots because I know that he was looking through water.
Oh, there's no doubt, we look back a few years like, well, Lennie's going to win once a year, right? We all think that, and when we said it's been 4 years, nobody believed it. So how's that possible?
Yeah, and I said, and this is not Lennie's last title. He said Father Time's catching up to him, but I don't believe that. Not the way he's too much of an animal when he gets on the lanes.
Well, as always, Tom, it's a pleasure. We've got more work to do this week yet, though, as we pack up tonight, get ready to head up the road. To all our fans out there on BowlTV, we appreciate everybody tuning in. The staff here has been unbelievable, and they will be yet again. I mean, the history of the PBA here in this building is phenomenal.
Well, Jimbo does an incredible job. He told me yesterday they're having 3 PBA events in a matter of 5 months. So Jimbo lives PBA, and it was always an incredible time when we come here.
Well, we want to wrap things up here, and we appreciate you, Tom, again. Thanks, and we'll see you again Sunday night, hopefully on the Stepladder, not sitting here talking. But you know what? You got some work to do before that happens.
Well, that's true. One day I'd like to be out there, and I'd like to be mic'd up, and we do it the whole show that way.
I don't know if we can do that. We got to have that quick mute button because we know you can get upset at times. We've seen that temper. But again, thanks, Tom, and thanks to USBC, the USBC board, BPAA, and the board for helping all this happen here on BowlTV. Of course, all the fans out there. If you're not out watching, there's no reason for us to be here.
Right.
John Weber, Linda Carter, they run a tight ship, and you know that as well, but Linda keeps things in line.
Yeah. Well, and thanks for BowlTV because literally This is where bowling lives. Bowling lives here.
It does. Bowling lives here. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Mike Flanagan. We have Brian Kane in early in the week, starting things up for us. He'll be back in Greeley. And again, the fans, we can't do without you. So.
I will see you in about 24 hours.
All right. Sounds great. We'll see y'all in Odessa. Bye for now.